Hello and welcome to the Map Your Purpose podcast. My name is Aurelia. I am a life purpose and mindset coach. I am dedicated to help you live a life of alignment and fulfillment. I use an earth and sky approach to help you bridge your day-to-day life with self-discovery and spiritual concepts. So hop on board and let's start a journey of self-exploration, empowerment and self-love so you can live a life aligned with your true purpose and your true self. Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Map Your Purpose podcast. My name is Aurelia and today we're going to talk about mindset. So why did I decide to talk about mindset today? It seems a bit generic, but really it's about the importance of doing mindset work so you can improve your personal, professional, financial life, really whatever feels like you have a block, even if it's all of them. And also the difference it makes over time. So the reason why I thought of that is that a few years ago, before I was doing any energy work, any mindset work, it always felt like I was going into my work, whatever the job I was having at that moment, I felt like I was going into it feeling heavy, always having that little bowl in a stomach that was really heavy, and I was struggling with so much issue with my self-confidence and trust to other people, and there was just so much going on, and it was just so heavy for me, really. And the reason why I thought of that is that, like whether it is in my job or like even sometimes, like I'm not looking for another job, but when I'm being contacted by recruiters, sometimes it's just like I'm actually surprised kind of why are you contacting me? But in the meantime, when I'm seeing it and thinking and seeing the job by itself and thinking some of the seniority of some of the jobs that I'm receiving, and when I'm thinking of the job that I'm doing right now, I'm thinking a few years ago, I would not have been able to even imagine that for myself. I would have not thought at all that actually I can do that. I would not have felt confident at all. And probably, you know what, they wouldn't have even come to me because that's probably the energy that I had back then. So the reason why I thought, well, that could be a topic for a podcast is just because I just thought back a few years ago and felt where I am today, and I just realized that it just wouldn't have happened without the mindset work. Just, just that. A lot of coaches out there are just bringing the topic of money when they talk about the mindset work or what they're manifesting and thinking, oh, well, I'm earning this, I'm living that kind of life. I'm not going to say I'm never going to talk about money, but it's just not where I'm coming from. Obviously, there is a financial impact in terms of the work that I've been doing, but mostly it's thinking how much I feel capable, how much I feel more worthy. And like even if at time I'm still having that moment of I do have that moment of am I enough? Like can I do that? Or as I was saying, like, oh, why me? And but at the end of the day, I still feel better. I still feel like I'm able to recognize the signs of my lack of confidence. I'm able to recognize the sign of me not feeling worthy and or not feeling enough. And I am able to work on it. And I think it's the most important part of the mindset work It's not the fact that today you are going to do the mindset work and like you're going to be enrolled in a coaching program, or you're going to read books, listen podcasts, whatever it is. And it's not a transformation that's going overnight, and it's not a transformation that's permanent. It's rather tools that you take with you for a lifetime. For a lifetime, you'll be able to say, well, right now I'm feeling like I'm having some self confidence issue. I'm not feeling worthy of that task. I'm not feeling worthy of that job. I'm not feeling worthy of that house person, whatever it is. And being able to identify this and being able to go back to the source and just say, okay, that's why I have this limiting belief. This is what is triggering it. And this is what I'm going to change is literally everything. And like the first time I was following a mindset program, personal development program, that person, like the coach was always saying that, like, that's something that you're doing for the rest of your life. Like, I'm doing that all the time. And I did not realize, and I think it was also because of my mindset back then, I just did not realize how true that was. It's just not something you're like, oh, well, I've done that work now. I've worked on all my shadow side. I've worked on all my limiting beliefs, and then I will never have to do it again. You will always have to do it again. But what you actually take with you when you're doing that work is that you will always be able to know that it is what is happening. I think that's the main difference. That's what you're always taking away with you. And then you need to do the work. So I just thought I'd put my thoughts into a podcast in a perspective, just because I had that flashbacks of me this week. Particularly, I was thinking, oh, I remember that time when I was working at that company. And funny enough, actually, I was journaling today, and I found like a new journal. I just couldn't put my hands on my actual journal, and I found another one because I have notebooks everywhere, you guys, and I was reading through what I was doing back then, and I was trying so hard. I did not. That was before, again, way before, maybe a couple of years before I was actually before I started to do any kind of energy work, and yes, very simply, like I was trying so hard to get clarity, trying so hard to find what I was passionate about, trying to find what I wanted to do with my life, trying to find the confidence that I had with things, trying to find the right surroundings for me. And again, that's not something you can really do without mindset. You cannot really get there if you're not working on your mindset. Just giving an example, me basically launching my program as a coach, finding a like-minded community. Like, I can easily talk about mindset and spirituality with different people around me. Like, it's actually quite insane. Like, most people are thinking, oh no, okay, I cannot speak about spirituality to the people around me. Like, they wouldn't understand. Like, for me, I actually realized that I just always connect with people that are actually feeling open about it. And anyway, the point of this is that all of that would not have happened if I had stayed stuck in my mindset and did not work on my limiting beliefs. That After that is just simply like the pages. I looked at the journal and I wrote pages and pages trying to figure out, like, dreaming of things and thinking, oh, maybe I'd like to be surrounded by these things. I'd like to do to work this way with some people. I like to be surrounded in with that kind of people. I have that kind of mindset at my work. And I also want a community where I feel free to speak for myself and to bring my own uniqueness. I just did not have that. And I always felt like I was shrinking. And the other thing that's actually very important and that helped me out a lot is understanding myself. So there's gonna be another episode about the importance of using archetypes, but really and like the different archetypes. So I'm really going to dig into each of them. But the thing is mostly the fact that when I actually understood, okay, so you have that type of personality, but you are surrounded by people that I think seeing the way in a very different way. So it's not like there is nothing wrong with you. You're just surrounded by people that are genuinely very different, and it helped me to embrace myself a bit more, but also to understand that well, maybe that's just not the environment for me. The ideal situation is to have a diverse environment. You can just not do not have people that always look like you, but naturally, and that's just human nature. People will want to be surrounded by people that think like them, that are have the same kind of experience, same kind of background. It's not so much because it's not so much because they don't want to be connected with other people. It's just because what they feel is right is what they know. And for us, like it's just obvious, like the kind of characters that they will feel is right is the kind of character that they feel like they can reflect to. And that's why there are so many companies trying to work into diversity and trying to raise awareness on it. Whether they're doing it right or whether they're doing it wrong, they're doing it wrong. That's another topic. But anyway, is the fact that you have unconscious bias, whether you want it or not. It's just human nature. You have unconscious bias, and this unconscious bias, unfortunately, if you're not necessarily, if you're trying to fit in a lot in an environment that is all going to be quite homogeneous, and you are coming and being like that one specific person that's going to be different or thinking different. I'm not saying that's not the right necessarily the right environment for you, but you will have to have the right mindset to be able to influence the people around you. And and that is something that really stuck with me. So you can choose to basically be surrounded with different people. That's okay to be in an environment that where you're going to be that blue dot in a red circle. It doesn't matter. But really, the idea is that well, I need to be aware. I need to be self-aware. I need to be able to understand myself. I need to be able to recognize my limiting beliefs, because when I will be with people that maybe they won't be able to understand me, I'm going to feel very small. So yes, that's a fact. And even if you are in an environment where it's like, okay, like these people are a bit more like me, I feel better. I don't feel like I have to force as much, or they are accepting. There's also that, like maybe that's just going to be a more accepting environment. If you still want to grow and be able to bring your own character, your own strength, you need to be able to know what's blocking you and what's stopping you. And you need to be able to focus on that to change it. So that was my thought about mindset. One thing I want to say, however, when I'm saying, oh well, you want to be able to focus on these things to be able to change, I'm not saying do not be yourself. Just on the contrary, be more yourself by making sure you are able to understand your limiting beliefs and basically move them to a more positive mindset. That's the change that you need to look after. Okay, so that was a quick, short episode about my thought around mindset and the importance of doing mindset in your work. Just realizing that it is a real long-term work, and I had that thought this week, and I just wanted to share it with you. So I'll see you for the next episode, and thank you for your time. Bye. Thank you for listening this episode of the Map Your Purpose podcast. If you like the content, don't hesitate to subscribe, like, or share. Head to the website to learn more about the Purpose Map programs, and I look forward to having you for the next episode.